All right, I want to thank y'all for tuning in the video today. We're going to get right into the title today, and it's about why we got rid of the RV, okay? I've gotten tons of questions just coming in from messages of why did you get rid of it? You know, what made you, all those things, right? And there was part of it that's shifting from a 3/4 ton to a 1/2 ton, and we're going to talk about that and the road trips, kind of what's more comfortable and stuff like that. But we'll get into the main points. We've been in RVs for probably 20 to 25 years, my wife and I and the kids, and we've had great experiences with that. You know, even building the houses that we build while they were in construction, we've lived in RV for temporary periods of time. And so we've really enjoyed that, and it does provide some experiences that you can't get anywhere else. But one of the main factors for me is with the RV is, the short trips were very easy. The 1 hour trips, it's great. You have all your amenities from home. It feels like home. You can just pull in somewhere and set up. And so that's great. But we've gotten where we like to do road trips that are a little bit longer. And so we're doing, these 7, 8, 10, 15-hour road trips and towing this RV. And I know I had a big toy hauler, but y'all, I've had the 25, 28 footers also. They're all the same width. And the issue for me, one of the biggest things is just the road construction in Texas. I mean, there's road construction everywhere you go. The roads are in pretty bad shape. And you've got those barriers up on both lines. And if you're running through the interstates in the big cities, it's very stressful to pull a 40-foot, 45-foot toy hauler that's 13.6, 13.7. You're having to watch your heights, you're having to watch your widths, and then you're also traveling against those barriers. And they shift over. It's not like they give you any room anymore. Like when the road makes a left veer, those barriers are right there with it. And so, it's just, I found myself being more stressed on the vacation sometimes when we tow that. Like I said, on the local highways and going close places, no big deal, not an issue. But, when you find your knuckles are almost white from having to tow that thing for, 8 to 10 hours, that's not really a vacation for me. And I found that it actually made me more tense, a little bit more frustrated when we got places. And, and so for me, it's about enjoying the experience. And I guess back in March, y'all remember when I got the RHO, I bought it just to do some YouTube content on it, and we drove it, and we did a road trip to Tennessee. The girls loved it, I loved it. I was so much more relaxed. I mean, just staying at hotels and nice resorts, just pulling in, pack your stuff out of the truck, just an easy experience, okay? And I know it's two different things, and this shoe may not fit everybody. It's a different thing for different times in your life. But for me, after the 20-something years we've been doing it, I just felt like I'm tired of this. It's just a lot of work. The tanks, everything that you have to deal with an RV. It just, for the road trips we're going on and the longer road trips, it just wasn't really a smart move for me anymore. What we spend on the RV with insurance and like I said, that used to you could go get sites for 20 to 50 bucks a night, 10 years ago. But now most of the nice RV sites that you're going to go to, I mean, you're looking at $150, $200 a night, plus the fuel expense of towing this RV. So for me, it's just one of those things that I was like, okay, we're going to go do some more longer road trips, and we're going to enjoy those and put that money in those road trips and have a little more fun doing that and be a little less stressed out, right? I mean, and my girls have actually gotten where they love like hotel rooms, resorts. They're good with all that. And so that's what's kind of changed. I think that, and then, being in, the difference is, like I said, I got the RHO back in March and we made that road trip. And that thing had the hands-free driving, and that's on a lot of the 1/2 tons. There's a lot of features on the 1/2 tons that you don't get on the HD trucks, right? But the comfort and the drive in those things, it's just no stress. I mean, it's just really relaxing, especially the hands-free driving in that thing. So for me, it's, making those road trips, I mean, the fuel costs you half as much because you're not towing that big RV, if not less than half. So it's just one of those things that I enjoy, I think, a little bit better doing the road trips without the RV at this time in my life. Now, I'm not saying in the future, when we get a little bit older, that may not be something that, my wife and I decide to get back into an RV in the future and travel. But, and that may even be the motorhome, which we've never been in the motorhome class. So that may be the next step in the future. But for now, where my kids are and everything, I think, this is where we are right now. And I've gotten rid of it. We've done, 2 or 3 more road trips since, and we've really enjoyed those road trips. And I noticed myself that I'm a lot less stressed out not having to deal with the daily of pulling the RV. So it's, like I said, it doesn't, if the shoe fits, it works. If it doesn't, everybody's gonna have a different opinion about it, but drop your comments below. The other thing I will say about the RV is, 10, 15 years ago, it seemed like there was a lot more open space, and now you go to these RV parks, you're stacked in on top of each other. You can barely get in your sights. It's just, and you're paying a premium for all these things. And most of these places that you go now offer cabins. So you can just get a cabin and show up and leave, right? So just some differences, things that I thought about, and it just made sense. And we have zero regrets at this point. In the future we might. We'll see how that goes. But I definitely want to come on here and address it because I've had probably more than 24 people message me about getting rid of the RV, downsizing, going to the half ton and all those things. And this video is more about the RV. It's not really about the truck. I've got a bunch of videos about the RHO if you want to watch those. But just kind of want to talk about it today. It just feels like camping it's overcrowded. It feels like it's overpriced. And, for the maintenance, and this is no shot at the RV manufacturers, but the quality of the RVs are definitely not what they used to be either. And so when you buy an RV, you're going to work on it. You're going to be putting money in it. Things are going to break all the time. It doesn't matter what brand, it doesn't matter what you buy, okay? And so just not having the stress of any of that. I don't have to worry about something breaking. I don't have to worry about an air conditioner going out. I don't have to worry about any of those things anymore. I don't have to worry about a blowout on the side of the highway. That's the other thing. Your safety, your family safety, and a lot of times before you get in RV sites, in late in the evening, most of us that travel with the big RVs, we're trying to be shut down by 5, 6 in the evening, set up somewhere. And, the safety in some of the rest areas and some of the places that you would stay if you were on a trip, making a large road trip, it's not worth it to me anymore at this point in my life. So that's just kind of what I think about the RV thing. I want to know what you think. So drop in the comments, want to know, if you love RVing, put it down there too. Tell us what you do, where you go, things like that. I'll share another video later with some more experiences, some of the best places we've went in our RV. And I know this is a little different from my truck channel, but just wanted to put this out there because I got a lot of questions on it. Like I said, drop your comments below. If the video helped you any, please hit that like, please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.